everyone. I'm Alison Harris. I am a certified trainer for KW Talent here in Savannah, Georgia. And I am here today instead of the ever lovely Liz because she's actually on a plane traveling to take some KW Talent to some teams on the West Coast. So today we have Michael with us. Michael, I'd love for you to take a moment to introduce yourself. Tell everybody a little bit about yourself, where you're from. Take it away.
My name is Michael Martinetti. I am in New Jersey. I'm basically 35 minutes from Manhattan, so I'm on the eastern side, pretty much central North Jersey. I've been a realtor for 8 years. I've had a team for 7, and we are on track to do about 400 units this year and about 250 million in volume.
That's fantastic.
It's fun.
As you guys probably know, so I'm Alison Harris. I'm in Savannah, Georgia. I'm also a rainmaker on a team. So Michael and I probably have some very common experiences. But today we are going to talk about hiring purposefully and really retaining that talent. And, it also sounds to me like you've also hired a lot of new agents. So I'd like to dive into that as well. Can
Yeah.
you tell me a little bit about what you look for when you're hiring?
Yeah. So this kind of all happened by mistake, me getting into real estate, me running a team. It was never something I aspired to do. It just happened. So when I started, I was on a team, I had ideas and everything that I thought was a good idea. The team leader at the time wasn't really implementing. So I said, I'll go on my own and I'll figure it out. And so I went on my own and I said, I'm young, so I think I'll work best with young people because we have the young, energetic mindset and we're going to build this thing. And that's kind of how I did it and really have stayed true to that. So what I look for in someone that I'm looking to hire is somebody that doesn't have a ceiling. What I mean by that is where they want to just consistently achieve better and better year after year, where I feel like they're going to be loyal, honest, a team player, somebody that will not be scared to vocalize their opinions, because I have a lot of good ideas, but I also have a lot of bad ideas. So I want them to be able to check me when they feel like I may be making a bad idea. I want somebody that's highly motivated, because the reality is I don't want to be the only highly motivated person. I want everyone in our organization to be motivated, because I find that motivation is contagious. So if everyone else is highly motivated, then that helps the morale on the team. Typically, I hire people that are on the younger end. So I'm 34 years old. There are 20 people in my organization. I'm the 5th oldest. And I only have one person in our organization that's older than 40. So that kind of happened organically. And when we recruit, we end up usually getting people on the younger side that just naturally raise their hand to reach out. So that's kind of how we do our recruiting and how we do our hiring process. I mean, one of the people on our team, he's one of the best agents. He's 63. So it's not like we don't want people that are older,
Right.
just kind of developed into this naturally.
So tell me a little bit more when you are hiring and you are recruiting, what is it that you look for in that individual? So, how do you know that you have found somebody that,
Sure.
is in alignment with you?
Yeah, are we talking a staff member or are we talking an agent?
Either way, I mean, I think probably agent, because I think we're going
Sure.
to talk a little bit
So
about
the
the
number
young
one red,
sales force.
yeah, the number one red flag for me, and I always set them up. And this is, it doesn't happen anymore. But before I had my director of ops doing majority of the interviewing, if they ask me about commission in the first 3 questions, I already know it's not for me. Because if someone only cares about how much they're going to make and not understanding how much money they're going to make, then I already know it's going to be someone that's probably going to be in my world for a year or two. They're probably going to learn whatever they can, and they're going to go on their own to try to get a higher split. So if somebody's
It's fun. Yeah, absolutely. There's a woman who's another KW talent instructor named Christine, and she always says what they join you for, they'll leave you for. And that's a perfect example of that. And
So
I've seen that over and
if they
over.
talk about split, I'm out. I already know. I learned that very early on. What I usually do is I ask the agent when I'm interviewing them, what's important to them? Why are you choosing to potentially work here? So I can understand what that motive is and make sure it aligns with us. For me, I want somebody that wants to consistently improve, that is going to work hard, that is going to be open to me teaching them how to work smart. This way they can be more efficient. Somebody that wants to learn systems and processes, somebody that's going to be a team player. We're very, very, very good culturally. I mean, I have majority of my team in outside of the workforce, whether it's at my house, at our shore house. We do event. I mean, we're with each other outside of work once to two times a month. That's how good our like our dynamic is here. So if I feel like
So
some,
let's yeah, let's dig into that culture a little bit. That sounds
yeah,
really good. Is that the magic sauce that makes these people stick?
yes. So culturally, it's what we give out, and it's how I treat the staff. Like I treat the staff as well as I can. We try to give them raises yearly. We try to give them bonuses. I give them every major holiday off. I don't make them come to the office on Fridays. And I feel like I get more out of my staff than majority of people just because I'm treating them the way I would want to be treated. And in our world where you can do a lot of things from a computer, or from our phones, I think they appreciate it. And when they are here, they really are clocked in and working efficiently. And then also from the culture side, it's just kind of hiring people that all have the same common interests as I do and wanting to strive to be as great as you can, and not really hiring somebody that's motivated by money, but you're motivated by success, right? I'm motivated by success.
Mm-hmm.
I don't do what I do to continuously earn more and more money. I'm doing it to try to be as successful as I can and allow the others in my world to also be as successful as they can. And then I also want somebody that's open-minded to making money ancillarily. So right now we're doing a team flip. I'm teaching them how to flip a home. I have 7 people that have money invested because they can't flip a house on their own. So we're doing a team flip. This way they can get some ancillary money and learn that business. And then I'm hopefully going to be able to get them to be flipping their own homes on their own end. And then that turns into more listings. And now that turns into more income from them. And by creating other avenues of income for them, guess what they're not going to talk about? Split, because you're making the money in other ways, right? So I try to hire people that want to learn not only how to be a great salesperson, but also how to be a great overall real estate investor, flipper, and how to build new homes. And then you're able to correlate that,
Right.
in the Salesforce, because you can show a house that has 4 walls up and say, well, we can create this open floor plan because you now understand that side of the business.
Absolutely. So that's really interesting because I heard something there that you didn't say straight out, which is those are opportunities, right?
Correct.
So
Mm-hmm.
if you've got somebody working on a team flip with you and they're, making money with you in other ways, I would think that that's really sticky, right? And it would want people to stay. Talk to me a little bit more about other opportunities that you give to people, on your sales team, but also your admin. Are there other opportunities that you provide?
Yeah, so I have had 5 people on my team buy their first multifamily because I got into this business. I used to be a teacher in Newark, so I used to teach in the hood, and I bought two families prior to getting out of teaching, and 10 producing agents, and then I got into the investment side, which ultimately allowed me to then quit my teaching job. I actually quit before I got tenured. So I got 5 of them into buying their first 2 families. Right now, I have 7 of them investing on that team flip. And then the other things that I help them do is I opened up a construction company. So anytime they get me a construction referral, they get anywhere from $250 to $1,000. Anytime they recommend someone that we end up hiring, they get $1,000 out of their first
Mm,
check on our end. We also do a team trip. So I just had 75% of my team on a cruise for a week where I paid for anyone that hit their incentive. So their incentive is hitting their goal. The minimum production they need to sell in order to qualify is 21 homes. So 3 of our agents ended up getting their trip paid for. And then hopefully it's more and more. We've done that for 2 years now. And then we also just started a micro event. So if anyone sells 12 houses in a quarter, I will throw an event, pay for it for them. It'll be all about them. It'll be branded with me on it, but it will be all about the agent. They'll invite their clients, whether it's happy hour, at a restaurant, Top Golf, Bowl, whatever they want to do. It's all about them. We're going to institute that we instituted that last month. And then lastly, I just opened up a nonprofit. So we did our first event. We raised $18,000. We made a lot of mistakes, but kind of like KW Cares. So we're doing that for the Michael Martinetti Group Fund. And then however much money they help contribute in ticket sales and things of that nature, we're allowing them to use a portion of the fund to donate to people that need help or that they are passionate about. So it allows them to do charitable donations without having to come out of their pocket. So we're doing a
And
lot.
that takes us, yeah, it takes you back to culture, right? Right.
Right.
So you're, teaching them and also showing them how to give back. And that
Yes.
would be very culturally enriching, I would imagine, for your group. So
Yeah.
can we
And
talk a little bit about your sales staff?
yes. So do you want me to,
Okay.
you want
Well,
me to tell you
first,
the agents and all that stuff?
yeah, exactly. Kind of give me the breakdown of the number of agents and how long they've been on the team
Sure.
or something along those lines.
Yeah, so I have me plus 10 agents. I have one agent that's been with me since inception. She's been with me for 7 years. I have one, two, you know what? Let me just make this really easy. I'm gonna pull up a cheat sheet. It's called my group chat.
There you go.
So I have one, two, three, four agents that have been with me between 4 to 5 years. Two that have been with me for about 3 years, and then the other three are within the last year. Everyone's split is a 50-50. We make it nice and easy. Their cap is $8,750. And that's pretty much it. Typically, an agent on our team is selling about 15 to 20 homes a year. Just to be fully transparent, I am slowly phasing myself out of production. But in the last 4 years, I've individually sold about 800 houses. So I'm scaling back at this point because I got into coaching 18 months ago and I've completely changed my philosophy on everything.
Mm-hmm.
I've been coached. I used to think I knew it all, and I realized I knew not much. I just had a really good work ethic and I did a couple things right. So we're working on transitioning that. So this year, I think we're going to end up, my average agent's probably going to sell about 20 to 25 homes if it goes the way that I foresee it going.
That's excellent. So tell me a little bit more about retaining these agents. Those sound like great numbers. You really are keeping these agents on the team, and it sounds like you're getting them into production pretty quickly. What's your
Yeah.
secret?
Yeah, so it's they know that I care. I'm genuinely like I'm the one training them. I'm the one that's hopping on the phone with them when they have an issue. I'm the one that's coaching them on how to get listings and how to go on the listing appointment. I'm the one that's in the trenches with them and working them through things. We do script training. Like I'm very, very involved, and I'm very much there for them, and I'm helping them with really any problems they have. I'm there to solve it. And then I'm also teaching them like how to make money in other ways and how to generate income from all different types of other sources surrounded around real estate. The other thing too is a lot of the people on my team are making six figures. And remember, I'm the fifth oldest at 34. When I was 26, I was making $50,000 a year. And where I live in New Jersey, $50,000 a year, that's a part-time gig. You're not going anywhere, right? So they're young, they're making money, and it's also important that you're helping them grow their business and making sure that they're making more money every year. And how do you do that? You get more opportunity, and you create that style, like I said earlier, teaching them how to work more efficient, how to work more intelligently, and how to work to their strengths. Like when I see people, they're like, oh, well, I'm going to do YouTube, I'm going to do Instagram, I'm going to do open houses, I'm going to get Zillow leads, all you need to do is be really good at one thing, master it. You'll sell 20, 30 houses from that source by mistake. Then find your second thing, master it. Now you just sold another 20, 30 houses. Find your third thing, your final thing. If you're really good at three things in real estate, you'll sell 100 houses by mistake. And I know it sounds crazy because not a lot of people do it, but it is that easy. Like my business is, the way that I got to where I am so fast, it was just three different things that I did. And I just did it consistently and I just mastered it. And that's really what we do. And the biggest thing is that in our area where we live, we have sold in our county 197 houses. and we're not that big of an organization. The second best, who's 4 times the size of us, sold 97. And then the third best,
Mm.
who's 3 times the size of us, sold 52. So we dominate our area. So it's kind of like, if you have clients in this area, you also get that advantage of, we have a ton of inventory, we have a ton of connections, and we have, a ton of market share. I mean, we're able to say we sell 200 times more than the second best agent in Union County,
Mm.
New Jersey. That's powerful if you
Right,
utilize
of
it.
course.
You don't sound like an a-hole,
So,
or
so talk to me. So talk to me a little bit about how you coach your agents, how often you meet with them. It sounds like you're very hands-on. Maybe could
yeah,
you tell me like a life in the week of Michael in terms of
sure.
actually meeting with agents and training agents?
Yeah, so I'm coached every Tuesday by my coach from 2:30 to 3:30, and then we do our team meeting at 4 o'clock, because I will forget everything that we talked about if I don't do it right away. So we go into our team meeting. Our team meeting is we go over all our wins, anything that the team's struggling with, what is coming up, what events we're going to be doing, what changes we're making in the organization. If we hired somebody, we explain what their role is. We explain what the process is going to be like that. And that's what we do. At any time, if the agent wants one-on-one time with me, they'll go to my director of ops. They'll schedule a time to talk about whatever it is, as long as I have an opening on my calendar, and I'll sit one-on-one with them, whether it's as simple as comping a house on an MLS, or a constant issue that they don't know how to face, or like certain objections they can't overcome. And then I'll sit down, whatever it is, like, even if it's about their finances, has nothing to do with real estate. I'll sit down and I'll explain like how they can financially get to where they want to be as quickly as they can in the most efficient way. Tomorrow on Thursday, we've been doing script training. So I have like a cheat sheet that I give to all my agents of questions you want to accomplish on the calls when you're taking inbound leads. And then we listen to their calls, and I stop every time there's an opportunity for them to maybe have done something better, or maybe have asked a better question. And then also when the calls are going really well, we, we listen to them, and then I commend them on doing a good job. I'm also going to start recording my own calls. This way we can start to create a library for what calls should sound like, so the agents can hear different variations of calls and how I kind of pivot. I also videotaped me on a fake listing presentation with the wall across from where I'm sitting right now, which was awkward.
Mm.
But now we send that out to them so they can start to learn the listing presentation, obviously interpret it into their own way, but allow them to kind of figure out how the listing presentation should go. So it can help them get to that like 75 to 80% conversion rate, which is where I'm at now. But it took me years to get there, right? Like 3 years ago, I was
Yes.
50 or 60. Right? Which is a huge opportunity of things that I just fumbled. And then just
Yeah, absolutely.
simple things as like how I ask my questions. Like, I used to ask questions for what I wanted to know instead of really allowing them to express myself. So when I walk in, I tell them, like, if you walk into an appointment, just say, hey, what's important about selling this home? And because some people might say something that you would have never thought. Like, once I started doing that, that's really when my conversion went up significantly. So I teach them like these simple questions that I ask that give you so much insight. Because I'll say, what's important about selling my home? And you'll get some crazy answers. Well, where they'll say, well, I hate my wife and we're getting divorced. And I'm like, whoa, I wasn't ready for any of that. Or they'll say, I really want
Right.
to sell my house for cash and I want this to be over as soon as possible. Right. So now I can pivot what I was about to do, because I was going to put them through a whole listing presentation where I may have scared the crap out of them because they're looking to get out of their house quick. Right. Just from me asking what's important about it. Right. And then it makes people like to talk about things. They want you to, they want to talk most of the time. So I teach them.
And you find giving these skills to your agents, they're able to implement them and then their success also,
And then their conversion is
yeah.
going up, right? And a lot of what I see, a lot of issues with people that I speak to is like, I need more leads, I need more leads, I need more leads. And it's like, if someone were to give you 5 good leads a month and you were to convert 60%, that's 36 deals a year, just because you're working smart and efficient. You're asking the right questions, rather than you're getting 20 leads, 5 don't answer. You call them once. If you're lucky, you call them twice. Now you rule them off. They're dead. 5 aren't hot and ready to go. So you don't nurture because you're just trying to find the next deal. Now those are gone.
Right.
5 are like, yeah, I want to buy a house. You're wasting your time with them. 1 ends up in a rental. 1 gets relocated. 3 of them end up leaving, and then 5 hot leads where one you sell, one maybe you get under contract that dies, they hate you, and then the other three, so
Right.
you just
And your
are
CRM is
down.
bogging you down with a million
Correct. And now
tasks.
you have 400 people in your
Yeah.
CRM and you think you're doing a
Yes.
good job managing that database, right? I'm teaching them all the things not to do to make them understand that it's not quantity, it's quality over quantity. It's a lot easier to be successful focusing on the people that are really hot and ready to go and understanding how to nurture and how easy it is setting tasks on your CRM and just, letting the CRM do everything for you. Like that's what I do now because I was terrible at follow-up for years. I'm still not the best,
Right.
because it's
Well,
not what we think. We're not programmed like that.
absolutely. That makes great sense. Okay, so at the very beginning, we talked a little bit about your culture. And I
Sure.
think as we're winding down in the conversation, that's what we should talk about.
Okay.
You told me that, you find people that have similar interests to you and so on and so forth. Can you tell me a little bit more about the culture that you really foster and
Yeah.
what you're looking for and how you think that makes or how it makes people stay? Because it sounds
Yeah.
like your
So
retention is phenomenal.
yeah, I I don't know about anyone on the call, but I like to be around people that want to have fun. I like experiences. I like having fun. So if people are having fun when they're at work, and then you can also separately have fun outside of work, it's going to make someone think twice before they leave you because it's like we do well with work, we're having fun here, and we also have fun in real life. So it just kind of, again, it naturally just developed into that way. And not every single person on my team does it like when we have events, but 80% of them do. For example, UFC's on Saturday. I'll have the fight on, and I'll guarantee you that at least 7 out of the 20 people in our organization are at my house. And we have food catered, we'll drink, whatever. In the summer, we'll rent a boat, we'll go on the water. More than half the team will be there. We do events that are ones at the racetrack. We do an event that we just did at my country club where we had 350 people. It was basically a happy hour for 4 hours. We do a Santa drive where we all dress up as Santa and elves and we deliver gifts to kids in the area in neighborhoods in the county. And then we'll also do like happy hours. We're going to go to a devil's suite. So we're doing all fun experiences that people that are younger like to do, and they're having fun while being with work people. And now you're building a real relationship, and it's not just a work relationship. It's not just we go to work, we talk about work, and that's all we do. We're also real life humans, and we talk about real life, and we're all in similar places like in our lives, right? Like a lot of them are engaged or newly married, or they're dating, or they're single, right? I'm one of the older people. I'm married, I have kids, so I'm a little different in that regard. But it's just real life that goes on, and it builds that relationship, and it just solidifies it. And when people join, they end up fitting in really quick, really fast, because it just kind of, it's like a natural thing. It's not a forced thing. Like it naturally happened. And I think that's what makes
Of
it.
course. So if you've got, so we've got a rainmaker, say on this call, who does not have that kind of culture and does not have that kind of fun on their team, and they really are just coming to work and not hanging out with each other. What would your best advice be to them to start creating that kind of culture? What would your best advice be to make work fun?
What I did from day one is I take myself out of my position and I put myself in whatever position the other person's in. And I say, how would I want to be treated if I was that person? And I genuinely try to treat them the way I would want to be treated. When you treat people with care and you treat people genuinely and you treat people the way that you'd want to be treated, they're going to feel it if it's real. They're going to feel that if it's not forced. They're going to understand that you're more than just the rainmaker or the team lead, or we get all the credit. But I tell people all the time, and I genuinely mean it. Yes, I get all the credit, and I look like a rock star in the public eye. But without everyone behind me, I'm only as good as my natural ability. So I try to make them feel and give them accolades and make them understand like how appreciative I am by doing the little things that I do. And those little things, they all add up, because guess what? Most of the people worked somewhere else before they worked for me, and they realized how miserable it was there and how enjoyable it is here. And it's just, try to create an environment where we're not working to live, we're living to work. Meaning we enjoy our lives. We don't dread going to work on Monday mornings. It's like, okay, like we have work Monday. That's fine. Like, I don't think anyone dreads coming here. Maybe I'm wrong. I never asked them. Maybe I should ask and see what they say. But I don't think anyone dreads going to work, right? And how many people can honestly say they don't dread going to work? Like I don't dread going to work ever. I'm never like, oh crap, it's Monday. I'm like, I don't even care it's Monday. It's just like, oh, it's Monday already. All right, I'm going to work. Like I love going to work, and I did not love going to work 8 years ago. So I remember that. And I was treated well. My principal wasn't bad with me, but I just genuinely try to treat them the way that I would want them to treat me if the roles were reversed. And I think a lot of people let their ego get in the way. I think a lot of people are more worried about what's going to benefit them versus retention, because it's easy to not think that. It's easy to be like, well, my team's so good, who's going to leave me? And I don't want that to
Yeah,
happen. I don't want that to be me. And I've been blessed
absolutely.
over the last, 2, 3 years. And, I'd be naive to think that at some point someone's not going to leave me that I don't want to lose, but I'm going to do everything I can in my power to prevent that from happening. And I just think it's pouring into them and understanding what's important to them and giving the best of you to them to fill what's important. And I think understanding what's important to each one of your people in your organization is another lapse that a lot of team leads don't do, because they don't ask that simple question, which I do. What's important to you? Some people are like, I want to make 100 grand a year and I'm good. Other people are like, I want to make $500,000 and I want to do this and I want to do that. So you treat them differently and you try to help them accomplish their goals the
It
best you can.
sounds to me like the exact same thing that you're telling us you say in a listing appointment. What is important to you? It's the
Pretty much.
same question,
It is.
which is awesome. It's amazing that you can kind of apply some of the same strategies.
Yeah.
Well, Michael, I really want to thank you for taking the time to talk with us today. I think your team sounds like a lot of fun. I'm 44, so I'm probably a little bit old, but it sounds like a really great place to work.
You would
I
fit.
just want to remind, thanks. I just want to remind everyone that on March 26th, the KW Talent has a 3-hour intensive workshop. We'll be going over all kinds of really great things, and I really hope that you've taken the time to sign up. Jayrick, if you can, there you go. There is, it's no cost to members. If you're a member, it's in the chat box, so don't hesitate to sign up. Other than that, Michael, do you have one last mic drop? Anything? Am I hired? Can I come work for you?
Yes, you're hired. I want to work for you just because you're in not Charleston. You're
Savannah.
in Savannah, where I've wanted to go for the last 10 years, and it's cold here and raining. If there's any questions that any of you have, or if there's any materials or anything that I can do to help you, you can reach out to me. It's probably easiest, just Michael Martinetti on Instagram. And what I would tell you, the first and easiest thing to do is, if you are a rainmaker, look at your organization, and anything that you feel like you don't know about somebody, get to know it as quickly as possible. It will change your world. I can promise you. I'm a living life example of it. And that's it. I really appreciate you having me. I hope I said something intelligent.
Yeah, you did. You for sure did. And I think it's very apparent the amount of care and consideration you give people in your world. And I think the most important takeaway I'm going to have today is what's important to you, and really making sure that you understand that about people in your organization, your sellers, your buyers, all of those people. If you just know that one thing, then you can show up as the person they need.
Yeah, and it allows you to know what's important to them, and you just let them talk, and you'll get so
That's
much
right.
from it. Listen, so
Well, thank you so much, Michael, and thank
yeah,
you everyone for joining us today. And I hope everybody has a great remainder of their Tuesday, and they stay very safe in all of these weird storms we're having across the country. All right, thank you all. Bye-bye.
take care.